Hey everyone, and a huge welcome to today's explainer. Think of me as your personal financial psychologist today, because we are about to deeply unpack a story that so many young adults are currently living. We're talking about the incredible challenge of overcoming early life financial stress so you can finally establish true independence. Look, if managing money feels incredibly stressful or honestly just overwhelming to you right now, I want you to know right off the bat that you are absolutely not alone. And more importantly, it might not even be your fault. Today, we're looking closely at how the invisible atmospheres of our childhoods literally leave permanent marks on who we become. But listen, this isn't just about digging up the past. This is about learning how to rewrite the narrative you were handed and turning those inherited anxieties into profound financial confidence. So let's jump right in. So before we get to the core text, I want you to really think about the question we're exploring today. How does a childhood environment actually shape our adult minds? To really understand this, let's compare a couple of different childhood environments and their long-term financial effects. I mean, think about the massive difference between growing up in an environment of quiet scarcity, where money was just this silent, heavy cloud of tension in the house, versus a home filled with vocal, chaotic financial panic, like loud arguments over the grocery bill. These two distinct environments wire us completely differently. That quiet scarcity, it often leads to adults who relentlessly hoard every single penny out of pure fear. Meanwhile, the chaotic panic can create adults who binge spend just to cope with anxiety or who literally avoid opening their mail altogether. These aren't just quirky personality traits. They are super common, deeply ingrained adult reactions born directly from the specific type of environmental stress we absorbed when we were kids.
And that brings us exactly to the source text we're deconstructing today. It's titled, "The Financial Legacy of Childhood Stress: What Watching Your Parents Stress About Money Did to Your Brain. Science Explains It." Now, the absolute critical part of this is the science behind what it, and I'm emphasizing this, did to your brain. The source material dives into specific scientific studies showing that prolonged exposure to parental financial stress actually floods a child's developing brain with cortisol. This constant chemical wash literally alters the physical development of the brain. It hyperactivates the amygdala, which is our brain's fear center, and it actually dampens the prefrontal cortex, which is the part that handles logical planning. So when you're making adult money decisions today, you're very often fighting a biological response that was wired years and years ago.
Okay, Section 1, Defining the Legacy.
Let's summarize exactly how brain science explains these learned money behaviors. You see, when we talk about a financial legacy in this context, we aren't talking about inheriting a massive stock portfolio, a house, or a fat bank account. We are talking about inheriting a nervous system response. Because of that altered brain wiring we just talked about, your brain might literally interpret a low checking account balance as a physical threat to your actual survival. It triggers a literal amygdala hijack. You know that racing heart or sheer panic you feel when you're logging into your banking app? Yeah, that is the legacy. It's an inherited biological reflex passed down simply by existing in a high-stress childhood environment.
Moving on to Section 2, the specific trigger. The text isolates a highly specific catalyst here, watching your parents stress about money. It's the visual and emotional observation itself that acts as the trigger. To make this super relatable, let's contrast two journeys of young adults managing this today. Meet Alex. Alex grew up watching their parents constantly argue over bills, and now Alex suffers from paralyzing anxiety and completely avoids looking at credit card statements. The inherited anxiety is totally running the show. Now meet Taylor. Taylor grew up in the exact same environment, but Taylor has recognized this trigger. When Taylor feels that familiar panic rising, they know exactly how to separate their parents' past stress from their present reality. They take a deep breath and they open the bill anyway. The entire goal of our explainer today is to help you move from Alex's reaction over to Taylor's recovery. And this brilliantly illustrates how the external chaos of the past becomes an internal pattern in adulthood. The parent's external financial anxiety basically crosses the barrier and becomes the developing child's internal biological architecture. This is actually a perfect moment for a quick self-audit to identify your personal financial stress patterns. Seriously, ask yourself, how did the environment you witnessed internalize for you? Do you oversave and deprive yourself out of this irrational fear of going broke? Do you engage in revenge spending the second you get a paycheck just to reclaim a sense of control? Or maybe you practice financial avoidance, just hoping the numbers will somehow fix themselves. Figuring out your specific pattern is the absolutely crucial first step to dismantling the whole thing.
All right, Section 3, the cause and effect.
This three-step chronological progression right here shows us exactly how the cycle forms, ending in that profound impact on your brain wiring. But how do we actually break it?
Well, here's a practical checklist for breaking these unhealthy financial cycles. First, acknowledge the feeling without judgment. Second, detach the past trauma from your present reality. And third, implement a step-by-step guide for managing daily spending, which replaces those stress triggers with healthy habits. For example, try this framework for your daily spending. Step 1. Before any non-essential purchase, enforce a mandatory 24-hour pause. Just wait. Step 2. Name the emotion driving the urge to buy. Is it boredom? Is it anxiety? Or is it a true need? Step 3. Execute the transaction from a place of calm rather than impulse. By actively inserting that pause, you literally short-circuit the old stress loop.
Next up, Section 4, the biological reality. So the source explicitly claims that these changes are a biological reality backed by science. But look, understanding the biology is only half the battle, right? We need practical tools to manage the nervous system reactions that happen in real time. So here are 3 practical steps to reduce your current financial anxiety. First, use specific techniques to calm your nervous system during financial tasks. I'm talking about practicing box breathing. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, right before opening a banking app or paying a bill. Second, create simple daily routines to build financial confidence. I highly recommend what I call a money minute routine. Spend exactly 60 seconds every single morning reviewing your accounts with zero judgment. It builds exposure and completely removes the mystery. Third, actively reframe your narrative by saying out loud, I am safe and this is just a number. As we wrap up this explainer, I want you to take a moment and do a quick visual reflection exercise. Picture yourself untangling your own inherited beliefs from a deep root system and finally breaking out of the cage of those past anxieties. To actively do this in real life, try adding a simple weekly worksheet to your routine where you track emotional triggers during purchases. Jot down what you bought and exactly how you felt right before you tapped your card. Listen, if you are a young adult currently struggling with inherited financial stress, please hear me on this. You have the power to break these cycles. By understanding the biology and applying these practical steps, you aren't just healing your own relationship with money, you are protecting future generations from carrying that exact same stress. Thank you so much for joining me today, and hey, here's to confidently rewriting your financial future.